So those people who have not watched it, please do watch it. So today I have come with another interesting bio topic. It's nothing but the circulation in human body. Okay, so today we will be studying about the circulation of the heart. Okay, we are going to study the circulation. Our topic is circulation. So we will see. We all know that the heart is the size of the fist, closed fist, right? So even though it is that small, it has such a major role to play in our human body, right? So this is one of my favorite topic and I hope that it will be favorite for you too. And okay, so let's get into the topic. First, let us see. In various textbooks, you have seen various diagrams of heart, right? But to understand heart easier, to differentiate to draw the blood vessels of the heart, to identify the sides of the heart, the best diagram is the diagram that we learn in our schools. That is nothing but we draw 4 blocks. Okay, we first draw a square, then divide it into 4 like this. Okay, now here in the heart we all think that this is the left side, this is the left and this is the right. But here in heart it is different. It is just the opposite. Okay, the heart is facing towards us. Okay, so in the heart it is, okay, we divide it into 4 and this is the right and this is the left. Okay, right and left. Now let me tell you, in the heart there are 4 chambers. Now a question comes, why 4 chambers? 4 chambers is to separate the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, so that the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood does not get mixed up. If it mixed up, all the processes will be having a big it will have a big gap or it will have a big destruction, right? Because if both oxygenated and deoxygenated get together, what will happen? The deoxygenated blood also will go to the parts of the human body, right? But our organs need oxygen to work, right? That's why it is separated into 4 chambers. Now, the right side has the deoxygenated blood. Okay, the right side have the deoxygenated blood. Okay, whereas the left side has the oxygenated blood. Okay, oxygenated blood. So let us name the chambers of the heart. Okay, so the upper chambers of the heart. Okay, the upper chambers of the heart. Okay, the upper chambers are called as atria, right atria or left atria. There are 2 more names. Okay, that is atrium. Okay, atrium. And the third one that we usually use, the common name is auricle. Okay, you can tell right atria, right atrium, right auricle, anything. Okay, you can use any word. But the down parts, okay, the lower chambers of the heart are known as ventricles. Okay, they have only one name, that is ventricles. Upper chambers you can auricles and lower chambers of the heart are called as ventricles. So let us label this. So this is the right auricle, left auricle. This is the right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay. So now we label these parts. Right. Now we know that the right chambers of the heart contains deoxygenated blood and the left chambers of the heart contains oxygenated blood. Okay. So now let us see the blood vessels that are associated with the heart. Okay. Let us see how the circulation happens. Now, before I start with the circulation, let me tell you the 4 valves present in the heart. Okay. Now, what are valves? Valves are present to prevent the backward flow of blood. Okay. Valves. Okay. This is the spelling of valves. Valves are present to prevent the backward flow of blood. So, between the right auricle and the right ventricle, we have the tricuspid valve. Okay, the tricuspid valve is located between the right auricle and right ventricle. Why? We know that the valves are located to prevent the backward flow of blood. So it prevents, tricuspid valve prevents the backward flow of blood from the right ventricle to the right auricle. Okay, so this valve prevents the backward flow of blood from the right ventricle to the right auricle. Now, between the left auricle and the left ventricle, there is a valve present, that is bicuspid valve. Okay, bicuspid valve. Okay, between the right auricle and right ventricle, tricuspid valve. Between the left auricle and left ventricle, bicuspid valve. Okay, these are two valves. Okay, over here. Now, from here, the other two valves I will mention it in the video when I draw the blood vessels. Okay, so now we know where is the location of the tricuspid valve and the bicuspid valve. Okay, and don't forget valves are used. Main function is to prevent the backward flow of blood. Okay, so valves are mainly present in veins. Okay, so now let us see. Now, there are only two blood vessels that are arising from the heart. Only two. That is the aorta. Okay. Now, everyone knows. Okay. Aorta. This is the aorta. Okay. A-O-R-T-A. Aorta. Okay. Aorta is the largest artery in human body. Okay. The largest artery in human body is aorta. Okay. Now, this aorta. Okay. At the opening of the aorta blood vessel. Okay, aorta is an artery. Okay, aorta is an artery. Now, I will tell you the function of aorta after some time. Now, between the left ventricle and aorta, at the opening of the aorta artery, there is a valve present. That is the, I will write it here, aortic semilunar valve. Okay, aortic semilunar valve. This valve is present at the opening of the aorta artery. Okay. So this valve is present to prevent the backward flow of blood from the aorta to the left ventricle. Okay. It is present at this opening. It is present here. Okay. Here the aortic semilunar valve is present. Okay. Now there is a one more blood vessel that is arising from the right ventricle. Okay. That is the pulmonary artery. Now, at the opening, okay, I will tell you the function of these arteries after some time. At the opening of the pulmonary artery, there is the fourth valve that I was discussing. That is nothing but the pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, pulmonary semilunar valve. Okay, this is present at the opening of the pulmonary artery. Okay, so the only two blood vessels that arise from the heart is pulmonary artery and the aorta. Okay, pulmonary artery and the aorta. Now, let me tell you the function of aorta. Aorta carries oxygenated blood. Okay, it carries oxygenated blood is very important. It's a key word. Aorta carries oxygenated blood. Okay, it carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle. Okay, it carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle towards the body parts. Okay, it carries the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to the body parts. Okay, now we label this as aorta, right? This is aorta. Now, this aorta, what happens? It branches, okay? It branches and rebranches, okay? It branches and rebranches to form many arterioles. And arterioles again branches and rebranches and reach, okay? It gives all the oxygenated blood towards the body parts. Okay? So what is the function of aorta? It carries oxygenated blood from the left ventricle towards the body parts. Now, after the body parts utilizes the stomach, the brain, all these body parts starts utilizing this oxygen. And there will be carbon dioxide, right? The deoxygenated blood from these organs come out. Okay? The deoxygenated blood from these organs are carried towards the right atrium. Okay, it is carried towards the right atrium through a vein. Okay, through a vein called as vena cava. Vena cava. Vena cava is the largest vein in the human body. Largest artery in human body is aorta. Largest vein is vena cava. Okay, now there are two types of vena cava. That is superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. Now what is the difference between these two vena cavas? Superior vena cava carries deoxygenated blood from the organs above the heart. Okay, from the brain, from the chest, from our shoulders, from the lungs, all these parts deoxygenated blood superior vena cava carries. Whereas the inferior vena cava is just the opposite. It carries deoxygenated blood from the lower parts of the heart. That is the stomach, the legs, the liver, the kidney. From those parts, inferior vena cava carries blood. Okay. Now this goes to the right auricle. Now what does it do? Right auricle pumps this blood towards the right ventricle. Okay. Now we see the function of the pulmonary artery. Okay. The second blood vessel that is arising from the heart. This is nothing but the pulmonary artery. Okay. Pulmonary artery. Now what does pulmonary artery do? It carries this deoxygenated blood. Okay. It carries the deoxygenated blood from. Okay. Let me just erase this. It carries the deoxygenated blood. Okay, it carries the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle towards the lungs. Okay, it carries the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle towards the lungs. Now, what is the function of lungs in circulation? It helps in converting, or it helps in purifying the blood. Okay, it converts the deoxygenated blood into oxygenated blood. It removes the CO2 and brings in O2. Okay, now the oxygen, okay, it makes the blood oxygenated. And okay, this is the pulmonary artery. As I mentioned here, it's a pulmonary artery. Now from here, from the lungs towards the left ventricle, there is a vein. Okay, one vein carries the oxygenated blood from the lungs to the left auricle. Okay, that vein is called as, here we have the pulmonary artery. So here it is the pulmonary vein. It's a pulmonary vein. And what does left auricle do? It pumps blood to left ventricle, and again this process is continuing. Now, what happens is, we all learned from small classes that artery helps in carrying oxygenated blood and vein helps in carrying deoxygenated blood. From now on, it's no more. Okay? Because, let me tell you the reason. Because there is one vein and one artery in our body that does the opposite function. As you saw here, pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle towards the lungs. Okay? Now, artery has carried deoxygenated blood. Now, from the lungs, the oxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary vein. That is a vein that carries oxygenated blood. So, what is the function of artery? Artery carries blood from the heart, away from the heart, towards body parts. And vein, it away from the body parts, it carries not deoxygenated blood. Vein carries blood away from the body parts towards the heart. Okay. Now, this is the function of artery and vein. Now, we saw one circulation. So, this is the process of circulation that is happening in our body. One recap let us do. Left ventricle, aorta carries oxygenated blood to body parts. Through body parts, the vena cava, the two vena cavas carry it to the right auricle. Right auricle pumps this deoxygenated blood to right ventricle. Right ventricle carries this deoxygenated blood through pulmonary artery to the lungs. And from the lungs, pulmonary vein carries this oxygenated blood towards the left auricle. Okay, so this is one recap that we have done today. And the four valves that are present between right auricle and right ventricle, that is the tricuspid valve. Between the left auricle and left ventricle, it is the bicuspid valve. And at the opening of pulmonary artery, it is a pulmonary semilunar valve. And at the opening of the aorta, it is aortic semilunar valve. Okay, so this is the circulation. So I will be coming up with a new video, more interesting video. I hope that you all liked this video and enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, share and subscribe my video. So this is ASTON Samuel Alexander signing off. Bye.